have, got with an older gentleman, you're an older woman with a younger gentleman. I just want to hear, I'm back, EQ, I just want to hear your opinions on the age difference. Do you think that their relationship, that the age difference was too much? And if so guys, this is like, it's going to be a healthy debate. I have actually sent Jay off. See, Eva Queen's an expert. She can relate because she is 36 and Bradley's 22. So obviously, she's got a few years on him. And I think sometimes it does hinder the relationship, maybe I was a little bit immature for the kid's dad and, I didn't get it. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? However, my brother and sister-in-law, she was 15 and he was 16 and they've been together 42 years. They got together, he didn't work with you, EQ, but, he was young, but if you want to come in the box and talk about it, you're more than welcome. Been there, done that with the t-shirt, EQ. I would never date anybody younger than me. I think the youngest I would date would be 45, because I like the older man to be experienced, you know what I mean? So yeah, my brother and his wife, they've been together 42 years, happily married, never broke up, never had other partners, so they got together at a young age. I'm 19 and my now husband was 28, now I'm 28 and married to a 37-year-old. Thank you, Jem. Do you feel that these relationships don't work? Yeah, so the whole age thing, really. So anyway, I sent Jay off to message the girl that we was talking about when I showed the video. I forgot the name. What's the bloody name? I better threw the paper away. So I've asked Jay to message her because I don't want her thinking that we're here and, we're just having a debate on her and her partner, do you know what I mean? Because it's not nice. Keisha, that's it. So, obviously, if she wants to jump in the box, she's more than welcome. I don't want no hate on anybody. I just want to, see, she's here. I just want a healthy debate on age. Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's right? Do you not care? Is age nothing but a number? So we're going to open the boxes. Feel free to jump in and have your say.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the boxes.
Frozen.
Everybody. Hello, everyone. So, Harley, you joined first. What's your opinions?
So I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about Keisha's story, to be honest, but I kind of wanted to touch upon, because your story is very similar to my mum's. My mum was 16 and met a 27-year-old man. They got married when she was 16 and had me when she was 17. And personally myself, and this isn't aimed towards anybody that's 16 and meets an older man, but my mum's situation, I think he met her and went with her because at 16-year-olds, you're easily manipulated. And then she was in a DV situation, and things like that. So I personally think some older men or even women might choose a younger person for that kind of side of it. Someone's very vulnerable and stuff.
Yeah. Guys, can we please be kind in the comments? I don't want to see all this. Oh God, this person's here, that person's here.
Fine. I'm used to it now.
But I don't like to see it, Harley, because at the end of the day, everyone's free to go wherever they want, and they shouldn't be hounded.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So please be respectful in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So your mum kind of like suffered, this. Well, your mum went through the same situation as what I went through.
Yeah, so, and I think it definitely was maturity. I mean, I know myself at 16, we all wanted to grow up very young. I wanted to be 16, go clubbing. I was 15, meeting up with guys, and it's icky. And it's really icky now, me thinking about it, but I was 15.
Hello.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, it's
Carry
okay.
on.
I heard my voice, that was disgusting. No, so I was 15 and I would go and meet up with guys that because they drive, and I look now as an older person, I'm like, that's so icky, like of the men, like they were 17, 18, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know, and look, everyone's different. I'm not insinuating that, you know, older men are meeting women for that reason, but, you know, I do think it should be a bit of a red flag. And me personally as a mum, I don't think I would allow my son at 15, 16 dating an older woman, because I would kind of question it. But, you know, everyone's different.
Yeah, I mean, would I like my child? Sorry, I only muted that box because it was echoing, so I'll unmute it. I would like to kind of like see if my children were younger than, you know, with
hello there.
Hello, darling. Obviously,
Hello, sweetheart.
Hello, darling. How
My name's Demetrius. I'm the partner of Keisha. I'm not coming on here to be rude or coming on here to say anything wrong or right, or I just want to let you know that I'm here and I am a human being, and can I have my say? That's it, really.
Yeah, of course. Like this life. How do I say your name, darling?
My name's Demetrius.
Demetrius, like, so this life isn't about you. I use the situation as an example. Like, I was 16 and my children's dad was 27. So I've been in your situation, and at the time
What situation are you on about? What situation am I in?
So, like, you know, you dating a younger woman and her dating an older man. So is it right? Is it wrong? What's everybody's opinion?
Who said it's right or wrong? Who makes these rules? Where's it coming from?
This is what a debate is about. It's about like...
Okay, it's a debate about us, about me, yeah, and about my girlfriend.
It's not a debate about you, honey.
So why are you mentioning me then?
Because you're on the FYP and there's a lot of controversy around
What's
your
the
relationship.
FYP, darling? Do you mind me asking what that is? What is that?
So the FYP is the For You page. So obviously it's
Okay.
like the home page on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah. You see, I've only been on TikTok. I was on it during the pandemic, but I've only been on it not even a few weeks, to be fair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, we only came on it because Keisha, she works for TikTok and she promotes clothes and stuff like that. So we didn't come on to show off our relationship, but we didn't come on to show the world our relationship. You know, it's got nothing to... We just came on there, you know, virtually just to come on there, just because she works on there and she was told to go on live. And I came on live with her because I joined TikTok, to go on live with her. And to be fair, I started to enjoy it. I did because I got a lot of experience in life, and I started to get into it and started to enjoy it. And that's when everything came out all negative from a lot of people, noticing the age gap and started commenting on us a little bit.
Yeah, can I just say, Demetrius, that this isn't
Not a debate. You keep saying, it's not a debate about us, no?
No, so it's not an attack on your relationship. I believe that as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. It's just a debate on the age thing, not,
all right, okay. I'm sorry to quicken you up a bit because I have got to go to the doctors, but I will say this, but my girlfriend now is suffering from mental health really badly because of these debates. Or what you're having, right? And now she, if you saw what she tried the weekend, didn't help. Her mental health went really, really low, and she was thinking of ending her life a little bit, going really deep.
Sorry to hear that.
Because you lot are debating about her, which she didn't come on TikTok for. She's working for TikTok. Like I keep stressing, she's working for TikTok, and she's been told by the people she's branding the clothes out for to go live and do more videos. So she said, can you help me? And I said, yeah, I'll help you. And that's what we did. And next thing, her mental health has gone boom because everyone's discussing about her. So these debates, what you're having, these people, don't you get their feelings? Can't you see how that hurts them?
Can I ask, have you reached out and gotten her some mental health crisis help?
We're now going to the doctors. We're now going to the mental health people right this minute, Yeah,
okay. I think that's the most important thing. For me here today, it's literally I'm talking about my own experience in life.
Yeah, I understand. I heard you, I heard you. Sorry to hurry it again. I've got to go out and get in the car. But can you please stop doing this and just leave it? Yeah, and debate about something else in the world, what needs...
Okay, so obviously this debate, I did say before I started...
You know?
I did say before I started the debate that it wasn't about you two in general. It was it was a debate on age and age.
We're all here to discuss
but there's no
own...
law in age, is there? She's 18, she's an adult. There's no law to say she can't date who she wants.
I don't know your guys.
She can date a woman, she can date a man, she can take a...
But I joined to talk about my own experience. I don't know you or your partner, and wish you the best. And I hope she is well. I don't know the Madam and Eve. But I joined to speak about my own experience, not knowing yours. So for me, it's got nothing to do with your age gap or what you're going through or anything like that. I wish your girlfriend well. I hope she is okay, and that is your number one priority right now. So
you're very kind. Yeah, she'll be okay. You know, because like I said, she's got me to help her in that way. And plus, we're now going to the doctors as we're now doing that. But we don't want you lot to go and brand it all over bloody TikTok now. Do you know what I mean? Which is going to clearly happen because we're live. You know, so it's not helping matters by you guys debating.
I don't think she'll be mentioned. It's literally about other people's, their own experiences.
Yeah, but you keep saying that, didn't you? I understand what you're saying. It's your experiences and that. Yeah. Don't forget, this girl's 18 years old. You got to understand her feelings. Do you really want someone to go and commit suicide, or do you really want someone to go hurt themselves? Do you really want that?
You can't blame like that. You can't blame conscience. No, I'm sorry. You can't blame. I'm sorry, but I'm not having that. Like, it's not being put on we. This is a debate about an age difference, age differences, something that I have lived through, something that many people have lived through. So I'm not going to have that, like, I personally or anybody here, anybody in this discussion is affecting anybody's mental health. I'm not having that at all. I did say when I started up the live, it isn't about these people. It's just that with it being on the FYP and there's such controversy around it, I just used it as an example. So please don't come in here and say that me or anybody in these boxes or people that are having this debate are responsible for what's going on there. So out of respect, right, we will respect their wishes and not talk about them in any type of way. We will carry on with the discussion that we was going to have. All right, so everybody unmutes.
Hello, Miss Red.
Hello, darling.
Hope you're okay. Please don't read too much.
I'm fine. I'm just not having like that level of like, someone's mental health being put on me because I've been on live like 18 minutes and we've been speaking for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So.
No, I understand why you're doing it. And you did make it very clear. You even made it very clear this morning for everybody that wasn't watching that it was not on them. Like on them, it was about the difference in the age. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So what we're going to do is, I weren't keen on his approach either. I think he was, a little bit out of order. However, I can understand why he came in all guns blazing. Obviously, he wasn't here at the beginning of the live. So what was everybody? What opinions, thoughts? Was anybody in the boxes? Have you been in a relationship? Where they're older, they're younger.
Yep, I'm happy to go now or wait for someone to go. I've never done this before.
It's all right if I just go because I've only got 5 minutes left on my lunch at work. Is that all right, Sarah?
Yep, I'm going to mute now for a wee second.
Thank you, darling. No, mine was just my mum and dad, really. There was about 18 years difference between both of them, and they had a great relationship for over 20 years. Me personally, emotional maturity, I think, at an age, if there is going to be a big gap, but I never saw any difference with my mother or father. And again, Miss Red, you did point out earlier, it just comes down to the type of person, I think, as well as the age difference. That's all I was going to jump on and say. But thank you ever so much, Sarah, for letting me, or Sarah, for jumping in. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Melty Magic, darling. Yeah, I do believe it is down to the individual, like the levels of maturity. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that plays a big part.
Now, ladies, but enjoy your debate and hopefully I'll catch you rest of the week.
Okay, darling. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, love. Bye. Hi, Sarah. What was you going to say?
Hi, sorry, this is my first I've never done this before, but I just thought I'd share my experiences because they were very close together. and one was very different than the other. Now, I wasn't, hello everybody, by the way, sorry I didn't say hello, and hello Mr. Ed, and thank you for letting me on. I was, let's say, about 19, 20, so that's quite old actually, so it's not as young, but I did have a relationship when I was 21 with a man who was about 38, and it was very abusive. I was I thought I was very strong. I thought I was very capable. I had my own place. I was living away from home. I was living away from Northern Ireland. I was in England. This boyfriend partner became very manipulative, without realising he had taken over the lease on my own flat. And then it became physically abusive. So
sorry for that.
It became very physically abusive to the point where I came home for Christmas and my parents literally did not let me go back. But within a few months of being home, I met another guy who ended up being about 8 years older than me. So I was 21, I think they were nearly 30. And we actually got married when I was 21. We're still married today. And he worships the ground I walk on. So I think it very much does depend on, like, I can't say I was any different from when I was in the relationship with the abusive partner and when I was in the relationship with my husband, who is my husband now. I think there's definitely something to be said about, good and bad in everybody. And I do think genuinely there are people out there, be it male or female, who do have manipulative tendencies and a wish to kind of feed off of others' goodness and just not belittle them so they could feel bigger, I think. Now, what I do have to say is I said I wasn't going to comment on the relationship between Demetrios, or whatever his name was, and his partner, but I have to say I find it very jarring that he brought his girlfriend's mental health up so quickly. And if that was the case, surely the first thing I would have done would be take her to someone to see her at the weekend, not now, but at the weekend when she was in crisis. And I do hope she's okay. Because that is the very first kind of priority there, not coming on to TikTok to talk about, don't judge me, XYZ, it's none of anybody's business. Absolutely, we're debating age, but to come on here this morning and rant the way they did, I felt it was very, very, very kind of, yes, my husband would stick up for me, but it was a bit more than that. If she was in crisis at the weekend, then get her help at the weekend. Don't, that kind of thing. Mental health crisis teams are available 24/7 through the holidays, and that would be first priority. But that's all I've got to contribute. Basically, I was the same age kind of with both people, but they were polar opposites. One abused me terribly, and the other I'm still married to, and he's still older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story with us.
No problem. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you as well, love. Right, I've got Jay in the box, guys, because Jay, when we do these debates, I want Jay to co-host with me. It's something that me and Jay love. We love debates. So Jay is here as a co-host, guys, so it's like me.
I was on the phone to our pal.
Is she all right?
Yeah, she's a fucking cracker, isn't she? Have we managed to get the lady in?
A partner coming, Jay wasn't very happy, to be honest.
Oh, okay, all right, no, that's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't very happy. So obviously she's struggling with mental health, so we won't discuss their situation. We'll just keep it on, like I originally said, anyone that's been in that situation. I myself have been in that situation, and I just want to hear, because the age thing, obviously I like older men, and Simon's 18 years older than me, so the age thing is working for me, and Simon is an older gentleman, I'm a younger woman, and it's great for us. I love it.
Well, I just think if you're happy, you're happy. Just do what you want.
See, I think I've got a little bit of a different opinion here. Now, we're all adults. Please don't all jump on me and hate me. I mean this in the most respectful manner. I think it depends on how old you were when you met said person. So say you've got a 16, 17-year-old and and a 50-year-old man, for me, I really don't agree with it. I think to myself, I always put it to like, you were how old when this person was 1 year old? Do you know, like, and it just gives me the ick a little bit. I'm like a bit like, ugh. Do you know, I just can't get my head around the fact of that, like how you could do something like that. I think it depends on when you met. So if you're someone that's 27 and then you're with like a 58, 59-year-old, that's fine, because this person's a lot older, they're matured, their body's fully, for me, I
agree with you, Kimmy, totally. I really agree with you. I was 15 when I met my partner. I'm 37 now, but I was 15 and he was 22. And this is what I'm going to say. Is it all right if I say stuff that's a little bit trigger warning? I can just say now.
Yeah, like use code words, like
okay.
Just use code words, because we don't. Yeah, okay. I don't want the line flagged.
Okay, so basically, I was 15, he was 22. He was very manipulative. I was very young, naive. I didn't know about, relationships and what you do in them. And I didn't know about, intimacy. I had no idea how to do any of those things. I hadn't even kissed anyone. So he was my first intimate partner. He said he used protection. I didn't check because I was naive and young. And obviously then something happened that's supposed to be 9 months later, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it didn't, because he forced me to not keep the baby, manipulated me, and he drove me down to a very far place to do that. My best friend came along, and whilst I was having that procedure, he was sleeping with my best friend in the car outside.
See, Jess, right, the minute you said you was 15 and he was 22, that was automatically wrong, because you broke the law. I mean, if it was, I don't know the laws about consensual things. I mean, probably Harley or somebody else would know more than me.
It's classed as statutory rape. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry. And obviously, because I was naive back then, I didn't realise it. But now I'm 37, I'm well aware of the world. It sickens me. It makes me feel sick. And the fact that he manipulated me into doing that procedure, and also, was sickly wrong by, he put something on, but then took it off halfway through to trick me. It was absolutely awful experience. But now I'm 37 and my husband is 42. I still like an older guy, but it feels right, and we've been happily married for 7 years, together 9 years. We've got a child together, and he's got 2 stepchildren, and it's a completely different relationship. It's nothing like that past relationship, and that same guy is now going around doing the same thing to young women, and he's in his 40s now, and he's still doing it.
Yeah, so obviously he's got a problem. There's a problem.
Majorly.
Yeah, he's definitely got a problem.
Yeah, he has. I've been told in my local town by multiple people that he've done the same things too, taking them where to go and stuff. Where was my parents? My parents actually wanted me to keep the child. They offered to help raise the child, everything. But to be honest, not to go into like another story because it's completely off subject, but my mum my mum wasn't supportive in my life anyway. My dad was, but my mother wasn't. So, yeah.
I mean, you do find that sometimes, like, guys, can we please keep the comments respectful? Because I don't, people are in the boxes and they're telling their stories that, they're brave to speak out about. And I just want to keep the comments respectful, please be kind, because we're not about that in here. if that's okay. Yeah,
I've got extremely thick skin, so if anyone said anything they thought would affect me, it won't. I'm so thick skin. I think it's so many things through life is just made me a strong person. I'm extremely strong-willed and strong-headed, so nothing would affect me. But yeah, thanks for listening to me though.
Oh, no problem. This is what I wanted these debates to be about. Like, you know, we're going to hit on some controversial subjects, but I want to offer a place for people to come and speak and, you know, tell us their stories, and it remain a safe room. You know, I don't want things to get out of hand or anybody in boxes to you know, to be upset. It shouldn't be about that. You know, we should be able to have a good conversation.
Exactly.
Without being too intrusive. You know what I mean?
I'm going to drop down now, guys, so thanks for having me, and I'll stay in the comments.
Oh, thank you for coming in, Jess, darling.
Lots of love. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hiya.
Hello, darling. Hi, Kirsty. Everybody's welcome to speak. You don't have to wait if you want to.
It's kind of two stories, to be honest. Oh, wait a minute. I'll leave the dogs. It's kind of two stories. I had a situation when I was only 14 and I was with an older person. Obviously, that was very wrong of him. Very, very, very wrong. I wasn't seeing sense either, and I actually ended up a mother at 14.
Yeah.
At that situation. I've still got my son. I'm 31. He's just turned 16. Amazing, great. But that situation, when you're under, definitely it's wrong. 100%. There was police involvement. Like, it went through everything. When I was older, I was 21 and I had a 14-year age gap. I was 21, he was 34, or I was just coming on 21. And I was very mature, obviously. Our relationship, it really did work. So I find, obviously, in that situation, it did work well, and it is about maturity. And I was older, and there was still a big age gap, but it did work really well. The first situation, obviously, with me being underage was 100% wrong, red flags everywhere, 100%. But I think when you're older and you are over and you are more mature and you are understanding and things, I do think that age gap isn't a big issue, if you get me. Not a big, huge one, but there's obviously different opinions. I think it definitely depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think one situation... Sorry, I was going to say, I think one situation should definitely be always a red flag is obviously like someone who's maybe got more power. So someone who's like, well, a teacher, you know, there was a girl in my school, she was like 3 years younger than me, and she ended up going with a teacher, getting pregnant, and they ended up getting married and things like that. And I'm sorry, that guy should be arrested. Like, I'm sorry, like, when you become a teacher, you have got a responsibility of care to the children that you look after. It could even be a couple of years down the line. I still find it icky that you would ever date. You knew them as a child.
It's an abuse of power also as well. He abused his power, you know. How old was she?
So she was 16, 17. As I said, I'd left school at this point. I just remember people that I knew obviously talking about it, and it did end up in our local paper. But I believe they're still together and things like that. But from my understanding, there was no criminal action done towards him.
I mean, you know, he abused his power, the fact that he was a teacher. So that's, you know, that's the first red flag. But I mean, the fact that she was 16, 17, obviously legally he was doing nothing wrong. Morally it's wrong, but legally he was doing nothing wrong.
That's the frustrating part.
I was just going to say, like, when do morals take over the legal aspect? I mean, as a 40-year-old person, whether it be male or female, I don't understand how you can look at someone 17, 18, even 19 to me. I'm 35 and I look at a 19-year-old and to me they're a baby. They're still a baby. They've got so much growth and stuff to learn. I don't think they've got the emotional maturity to be able to make them decisions fully.
I think the age of consent should go to 18 because there's too many grey areas of, so for instance, if you're 2 16-year-olds, it's actually against the law for you to have that pictures or whatever, or if you're 18 dating a 16-year-old and she sends you a picture, that would be classed as CP if you had that picture.
Really?
That makes no sense. So you could sleep together, you could see her physically, but if she's under 18, you wouldn't be allowed to have the picture of her. How does that make sense?
That is, but do you know, on the other hand, right? Like I was saying, my sister-in-law, she was 15, but back in the day, there was people were a lot more mature. Do you know what I mean? And my brother was 16, and they've been together 42 years. So I do like it. I think it comes down to maturity as well, doesn't it? Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get a 19-year-old that's mature.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. What does everybody think?
Again, I was 35. As I said, I'm 35. I've got 2 kids, and I know when my little girl gets older, she's 19, I thought 19. The key's in the name. They're still a teenager. Do you know, like if a 40-year-old man was to approach my 19-year-old daughter, and I mean this, and I genuinely mean it, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
No, I get you. I do get you.
Like, most of us probably are in the generation of boys fancying older women, right? And it would have been cool if they had gone with an older woman. But yeah, turn it around, it's disgusting. Like, that makes no sense. I don't know if generations still like that, obviously being an old woman now, but, it's weird. I'm sorry. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm going to call it out as it is. I fancied the man like there's no tomorrow. But the fact that he dumps the girls before they turn 25 is a massive red flag.
Yeah, exactly that.
For a man to approach a younger woman than it does for a woman.
I was just about to say that, Suzanne. Like, is the same energy kept with, if it was the other way around, with a woman that's older and the boy is under age?
100%. No, it definitely looks
the same if it was an older woman approaching my boy. Again, I'm going to jail. I'm not. No, you can't do that. It's morally wrong. In the eyes of the law, it might be okay, but morally, I don't understand how you can look at someone that's still categorised as a teenager and think, as a fully grown woman, and think, oh, you're. No.
I agree. I just don't feel like there's not enough pressure on that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that does get not ignored. It's not. It just doesn't get the same energy as it is with a male with a younger female. Do you know what I mean?
It's actualized.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Jay. I mean, I don't think enough awareness is spread because there is women out there that do these horrible things as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, women. But because of dangerous or had to be just as not sinister as such. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sinister is a most perfect word. Women can be just as sinister as men can.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with the schoolgirl role play. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm sorry, but I find it icky. Any man that would ask me to dress as a schoolgirl, I would question it. I'm sorry, everyone's different, but that's my personal thing.
What do you not think in the chat? Like, well, for women then, like if your partner was to ask you to dress up like that, would you find that odd or?
I would. I'm not about that, to be fair. It's never happened to me. And if it was to happen to me where someone said, would you dress up as a schoolgirl, I'd punch them in the face.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious. I don't understand how it can be a fetish. I'm sorry.
It's not really a fetish. It's more of a fantasy. That to me, I wouldn't like that either.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what are you thinking about while you're dressed as that schoolgirl? That's what would go through my mind. Like, what are you thinking about while that's happening?
Someone just said in the comments, I love role play, but yeah, I do get role play. I'm about it myself. But not the schoolgirl uniform. That is pretty weird. I don't know. I mean, years ago, like when we weren't as woke as what we are now, do you know what I mean? We'd see that and we'd think nothing of it. But now, because we're such a woke generation, I suppose it is a little bit weird.
I think if someone wants you to do role play, I mean, by all means, get your nurse's outfit out, get your policewoman outfit out, do whatever you want to do. Just leave the school kids alone, man. Come on.
Yeah, Like, so role play for me, I mean, I've never actually done any, like, I'm not like that, do you know what I mean? I'm pretty straightforward.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I've Simon in a Roman outfit, you know, and he's Troy, he's Brad Pitt from Troy. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. But I don't wear like nurses' uniforms and things like that. I'm just, it's just not for me.
Would you do that if he asked you?
I'll tell him to piss off.
What if you had to dress up for him?
You want to dress up for him?
I don't know. It depends. Like, maybe as a, I don't know. Simon, would it do it for you if I was dressed as a policewoman?
No, I'm not really.
No, because I know we could be getting fucking nicked, he says.
To be fair, Miss Red, I've seen that picture that Alex edited you as a warrior. You looked good as a warrior. I'm just going to put it out there.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yes.
What about ask him if he'd be alright with like Jurassic Park? You know, the blow up dinosaur.
What, the dinosaur?
Yeah, just ask him if he's up to, like, for Jurassic Park.
It's like, shut up, stop being weird. Oh, imagine. Oh, how would you even get in there to do the business?
See, this is why I love you.
Oh, God.
No, because it's something that I would actually do, because I'm not that, I don't take anything seriously, obviously. I think you all know me by now, but see, I would be that person I'm just a turn off, actually. I've just learned that, so anyway.
So you'd put the dinosaur outfit on, inflate it, and put a little cat flap, as someone just said.
and I'd you know, run around and stuff.
I could just imagine Jay like just popping up in like a Tinky Winky costume or something, singing Teletubbies.
I was a bit worried that my man was into dinosaurs. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just saying, like, that is me. You know, I don't know. I'm just a little bit weird.
Oh, guys. Hi, Debs. Hi, Stay Positive. Dawn.
I didn't want to interrupt because everyone was like mid-flow convo. Before I share the story, just to point out for the keyboard warriors, there's no point of writing nasty comments because I can't see them anyway, so you're wasting your finger power there. I've got a child through meeting someone who was older. I met him at 14 and I was in the system and he was 24. It is in his sort of nature to go for younger, because when I left, he was going with 16, 17-year-olds after, and still now he is young girls. But I walked away from him, I think I was around 18, 19, because he was, you know, if you read the word narcissist, he was down to a T, a control freak and a narcissist. But I've raised my daughter on my own. She's 20 now and in university. And I'm glad that he did not push to see her and stuff. We had a few years of battling when he tried to get sole custody and then he walked away, which I'm glad and I'm grateful he did. Because I don't think my daughter would be where she is now if he was involved in her life. But
yeah, I was going to say my relationship is pretty much the same as that. I was 14, 15, ended up pregnant at 16. I have 2 children.
Well, I turned 16 in the June and she was born in the October.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, ladies? Like, do you feel like when you look back, do you suffer with trauma from it? Do you get like, does anything go through your head where you feel like, well, actually, you know?
Yeah.
I've not moved on from my ex. He was 10 years younger than me, and I've been on my own 6 year. Yeah.
No, and
it's a long story.
But I think that was because he was on my level. I'm 46, but mindset is probably about 36, still go out clubbing, enjoying myself. And he was kind of there, going for someone older. Slippers and pipe was not for me.
Yeah.
I had the opposite with him. It's like, I even remember when I was 16, even down to like how we'd clean a laminate flooring, I'd have to sweep, hoover, polish, mop it, then polish the floor. And he'd want that all the time, every day, even with a newborn and stuff. That's how he wanted it. I couldn't make eye contact with another man. I couldn't go out without him with me and stuff. It was pure narcissist. It's like when I left, I walked. He come after me with a weapon. I managed to say I needed to go to the shop for a packet of cigs, and I rang the police and my mum. Because he even banned my mum coming into the flat and stuff. And he put the baby with the neighbour, who then lied that she had my daughter and legged it because he knew what he had done. And I had to, luckily his brother turned up and the neighbour come out with my oldest child then so I could get her back.
Oh, it sounds like you've had an horrendous time.
But the thing is, though, I don't let it define me, because it makes me a stronger individual. It's like I've said to people before, it's like when I see like exes go on this app and stuff, if I see my ex on this app, I wouldn't be on it. I will do nothing to provoke him. I'm happy for him to stay in his lane and he gets on with what he does, and I stay in mine. We don't interfere with each other's lives at all. But he is one individual to the day I die I will be frightened of.
Can I just jump in, because I've got to go back into work in a sec. I've got completely the same thing. I was 15 and my ex was 26. I've got 2 children by him. He was violent. Same thing, moved me out of my parents' house when I was 15. Obviously my dad tried to stop, wanted to call the police, blah, blah, blah. But I was so infatuated, I didn't want any of that. So I just kind of went with him to another town, and basically he would charge me for fuel. I was on the YTS scheme by this point, which I was getting £40 a week. And half of that had to go towards housekeeping because he kept me at his sister's house. So I was left with £20 a week, and which I had to buy food out of that and make it back to another town to go to college every week because I was trying to study hairdressing. So basically I lived on beans on toast. He wouldn't let me contact anybody. If I wanted to use the phone, he'd charge me, or I'd have to go to the payphone if I wanted to go and visit my parents. Bear in mind, at this age, I'm still 15, 16. I had to be charged petrol money. All of this I kept a secret from my parents and from everybody about the abuse that I was getting, the daily abuse. I didn't have a name. My name was swear words or derogatory words in front of everybody, in front of his family and everybody. And I was just so frightened of him. And as I say, he finally left to go back with his ex, because he has now got 9 children, I think, or had 9 children. I think he's had another 4 or 5 since I've split up with him. My children he's never wanted anything to do with my children. My eldest son went to see him when he was 16, and he paraded him around like a trophy and then just dashed him to the side when he didn't want him anymore. And I'd already told my son, like, this is what he does, but he had to go and find out for himself, because I'm not about keeping, although we had an order to stop him from seeing, he had to go to court if he wanted to go and see the boys.
Can I ask, Pepper, sorry, how old was you and how old was he, sorry?
What, when we first got together?
Yeah.
I was 15 and he was 26.
Right, okay, sorry.
Did you not know at that time, with you being underage? Did your parents not know at that time, with you being underage? With you being on 15?
Not at first, but obviously then they did know, and as I say, they hit the roof. They wanted to call the police and everything else, but I was one of them teenagers that if I'm doing it, I'll leave the house, I don't care.
Yeah.
I was the same.
Yeah, but yeah, obviously my parents really weren't happy, and then I fell pregnant when I was 16, and then I had my first son when I'd literally just turned 17. Then my mum passed away. He wouldn't take me to go and see her in the hospital or anything before she passed away.
How long was you for?
Eventually, I think we was together for 5 years in the end. Then literally my boys were 2 and 3 at the time, I think, when he left. No, sorry. One was under a year and one was just over 2, because I'm just thinking back now. And because he never had.
Leave you? Did he decide to leave you, or did you?
Yes. Yeah, no, he left me.
Weren't you?
Do you know what though? But I still wanted him back because I was still, bear in mind that I was 21 at the time. I didn't know how to claim benefits. I didn't know anything. I was in a town. I had no friends. I knew nobody apart from people he'd introduced me to, his friends, his family. So I was completely away from everybody. But yeah, I just want to say it is happening all over. And it's not always the parents' fault. Sometimes parents can do and want to do more. But if you've got one of them teenagers that don't care,
they'll do what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, it too well.
Because when you're in that situation as well, you don't see anybody else. Everybody else is kind of like irrelevant apart from that person, and that's the way they get you.
Brainwash you to a certain.
Yeah, that's how they want you to feel.
It's like my ex. I even signed over like all my child benefit in his name.
Right, ladies, I'm dropping down because I've got to go into work. Right, take care.
Bye. Lots of love to you, love.
Can I just say that you ladies, honestly, you should be so proud of yourselves coming in here and telling your stories like that. It's wow. Yeah.
You know what I'd like to hear from a man though, from like
we got any men in here.
Yeah. Like if you've ever been through anything like similar, I would like to hear from somebody like a male that's been through something like that.
But isn't like, can we all agree, like when we were young, we all generally wanted to find someone before we even found ourselves. Like we were so wanting to be having a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever like that before we even knew ourselves. Like, and that's the scary part, is you end up being controlled probably by an older person for them to be who they want you to be, other than you ever being who you want to be.
It's like, I think the situation I was in, the person I met, it was like served to him on a plate. I was a child in the system. I lived in a care home with 8 other kids, and it was like a perfect sort of recipe for him to take advantage of a situation, because like I didn't have my mum and dad around and stuff when I was in the system and all. It was just me in a care home with 8 other kids, so it was perfect recipe to take advantage of a situation.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with mine as well. He'd known me from birth, so he kind of knew the kind of family history and what had gone on, and used that to his own advantage when I was vulnerable.
Yeah, is anybody here still in a relationship with somebody younger or older than him?
I'm with someone. I've been now with him for 8 years, and there's 8 years between us.
Oh, so there's positive there.
Oh yeah, it's like, in a way, I don't regret going through that time of my life so young, because I lost my sight over the years and things. I'm now registered blind, and I don't think I'd have the strength, because my attitude is, if I can survive him, I can survive anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So the empowerment, and it's like with my daughter, I've always reinforced with her, before you have children, live your life, have stories to tell, go and be as selfish as possible, go on holidays, live your life to the fullest. And now she's in uni, and she's succeeding in where she wants to do. She's always had top grades in school and all. And I look at it that I got you there, I done that. Do you know what I mean?